Have you ever pondered the rich tapestry that makes up Mexico's history? Our journey begins about 13,000 years ago, when the first inhabitants crossed the Bering Strait from Asia into what is now modern-day Alaska, gradually moving southward into the heart of Mexico. These pioneers, living a nomadic lifestyle, laid the foundation for the civilizations to come. Fast forward to the year 1200 BC, an era marked by the rise of the Olmec civilization, often referred to as the mother culture of Mesoamerica. The Olmecs, with their colossal stone heads and complex social structures, were the first to leave a significant mark on the region, influencing cultures that would emerge later. The Olmec civilization was not alone, however. Around the same time, we see the birth of the Zapotec civilization in the Oaxaca Valley, known for their architectural prowess and intricate hieroglyphic writing system. They built the city of Monte Alban, a metropolis that would stand for over 1,000 years, a testament to their ingenuity and resilience. Then, as the Olmec and Zapotec civilizations waned, the Mayans rose to prominence. By the year 200 AD, the Mayan civilization had established itself as a powerhouse in Mesoamerica, with remarkable advancements in mathematics, astronomy, and the arts. Their cities sparkled with grand temples and pyramids, and their calendar system, accurate even by today's standards, is a testament to their intellectual prowess. These early civilizations, each unique and powerful in its own right, laid the groundwork for the societies that would follow. They developed complex social, political, and economic systems that were far ahead of their time. Their influence extended beyond their own borders, shaping the course of Mesoamerican history and leaving an indelible mark on the landscape of Mexico. Thus began the complex journey of civilization, setting the stage for the power struggles and cultural shifts that would shape Mexico's history. This is merely the dawn of civilization, a time of exploration and discovery, of cultures rising and falling, of humanity pushing the boundaries of what was known. And so, our journey through Mexico's rich and vibrant history continues. So, who were the dominant players in pre-Columbian Mexico? Let's warp back to the 14th century, where the Aztec Empire is just beginning to rise. The Aztecs, also known as the Mexica, originated as a nomadic tribe from northern Mexico before they journeyed south and established their dominion. The Aztec Empire was not just a political and military force. It was a sophisticated civilization with a rich culture that encompassed art, technology, religion, and education. The Aztecs were known for their intricate stone carvings, vibrant featherwork, and complex calendar systems. They built grand temples and made significant advancements in astronomy. They had an organized education system where every child, regardless of social status, received schooling. This was a society that valued knowledge, and it showed. The crowning jewel of the Aztec Empire was their capital, Tenochtitlan. Built on an island in the middle of Lake Texcoco, Tenochtitlan was an architectural marvel of its time. The city was designed with a grid-like pattern, and it was crisscrossed by canals, which were used for transportation. At its zenith, Tenochtitlan was one of the largest cities in the world, rivaling the great cities of Europe in size and population. The city was filled with bustling markets, grand temples, and palaces. The Great Temple, a massive pyramid at the heart of the city, towered over everything else. The city's vibrancy and grandeur reflected the wealth and power of the Aztec Empire. Yet, even with their sophisticated culture and impressive city, the Aztec Empire was not without its flaws. Their society was highly stratified, and human sacrifice was a common practice in their religious rituals. Nevertheless, their influence was undeniable. They left a lasting mark on the cultural and historical landscape of Mexico. The Aztec Empire, a beacon of power and culture, was about to face an unprecedented challenge. But that's a story for the next scene. Stay tuned as we delve into the tumultuous period of the Spanish Conquest. What happens when worlds collide? In the 16th century, this question was answered in a dramatic fashion. The Spanish, led by Hernán Cortés, arrived on the shores of what is now Mexico. They were met with curiosity, fear, and ultimately, conflict. The Aztecs, a powerful empire that had dominated the region, were unprepared for this clash of cultures. Their ruler, Moctezuma II, initially welcomed the Spanish as potential allies against rival tribes. But the Spaniards had different plans. They saw the wealth of the Aztecs, their gold and precious stones, and their hunger for conquest flared. The Aztecs, despite their military prowess, were no match for the Spanish. Their weapons and tactics were obsolete compared to the firearms and horses of the invaders. Moreover, the Spanish brought with them diseases such as smallpox, against which the Aztecs had no immunity. The death toll was devastating. In 2 short years, the mighty Aztec Empire crumbled. The Spanish, with their indigenous allies who had chafed under Aztec rule, seized the capital city of Tenochtitlan in 1521. But the conquest was not just a military one. The Spaniards sought to transform the very soul of this new land. They imposed their language, their religion, and their societal norms on the local population. They tore down Aztec temples and built Catholic churches in their place. They introduced European crops and livestock, transforming the local ecology. This period marked the establishment of New Spain, a colony that stretched from the Caribbean to the Pacific and from the northern deserts to the southern jungles. It was a time of upheaval, of violence, but also of cultural fusion. The indigenous people, while subjugated, also influenced their conquerors. Their foods, their crafts, their beliefs seeped into the Spanish culture, creating something entirely new. With that, Mexico's identity was forever changed, becoming a blend of indigenous and Spanish cultures. But when does a colony yearn for freedom? This question found its answer in the early 19th century, as Mexico, weary of Spanish rule, began to stir with the winds of revolution. The year was 1810. The Spanish Empire, once a formidable power, was now weakened by the Napoleonic invasions in Europe. Seeing an opportunity, a group of Mexican intellectuals and revolutionaries decided to seize the moment. Among them was a man named Miguel Hidalgo, a Catholic priest from the small town of Dolores. Hidalgo, along with his comrades, was instrumental in lighting the spark of rebellion. Hidalgo's famous Grito de Dolores, or Cry of Dolores, was a call to arms against Spanish rule. This passionate speech, delivered from the pulpit of his church, ignited the hearts of his listeners. The flame of rebellion spread across the land, and the Mexican War of Independence had begun. The struggle was long, bloody, and fraught with challenges. The Spanish did not capitulate easily, and the revolutionaries faced internal divisions. Yet, the desire for freedom was a powerful motivator. Men and women from all walks of life, from the indigenous peoples to the mestizos, from the peasants to the aristocrats, banded together to fight for their independence. The war raged on for over a decade. Finally, in 1821, after a long and arduous struggle, Mexico emerged victorious. The Spanish were driven out, and the Mexican Empire was born. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Mexican people. Yet, the struggle for independence was more than just a war. It was a profound social and political upheaval, a radical transformation that redefined the identity of an entire nation. It was a narrative of resilience, of a people's unyielding thirst for liberty, and their unwavering belief in their right to self-determination. Independence, however, was just the first step on the road to nationhood. The road ahead was fraught with challenges, but the spirit of independence, once kindled, would continue to guide the course of Mexican history. With independence comes the question, what now? After gaining independence, Mexico faced a period of instability, a young nation trying to find its footing in an ever-changing world. The echoes of revolution still hung in the air as the country grappled with the realities of self-governance. The Mexican-American War soon followed, a conflict born of territorial disputes and political differences. The war was brutal and costly, with Mexico ultimately ceding a large portion of its territory to the United States. This marked a significant turning point, a loss that would shape the nation's future. Following the war, yet another challenge emerged: the French intervention. Napoleon III, seduced by the idea of establishing a French empire in the Americas, invaded Mexico. This intervention, however, was short-lived. The resilient Mexican resistance, led by figures like Benito Juárez, prevailed, reinforcing Mexico's sovereignty. Then came the transformative era of Porfirio Díaz. Díaz, a military hero turned president, ushered in a period known as the Porfiriato. He sought to modernize Mexico, expanding infrastructure, promoting industry, and encouraging foreign investment. Cities flourished, railways crisscrossed the nation, and Mexico seemed to be on the path to prosperity. However, beneath the surface, disparity grew. The benefits of progress were not shared equally. The rural and indigenous communities were marginalized. The wealth was concentrated in the hands of the few, and the promise of equality seemed to be slipping away. The Porfiriato, while a time of significant change, was also a time of great disparity. The rich got richer, the poor got poorer, and the divide between them widened. This growing inequality, coupled with political repression, would eventually ignite the flames of revolution. A time of great change, but also of great disparity, setting the stage for a revolution. What happens when a nation demands equality? It's the early 20th century in Mexico. The country is on the brink of a massive upheaval, the Mexican Revolution. Sparked by the struggle for democracy and equality, this revolution would be a pivotal moment in Mexico's history. In the midst of a nation suffocating under the oppressive regime of Porfirio Diaz, the call for land reform and workers' rights began to echo across the land. The Mexican people were no longer willing to endure the vast gap between the rich, who held the majority of the land, and the poor, who were often left with nothing. Enter two iconic figures, Pancho Villa and Emiliano Zapata. Each carried the hopes and dreams of the Mexican populace on their shoulders. Villa, the charismatic bandit turned revolutionary leader, rallied the northern forces with his audacious spirit. Zapata, on the other hand, championed the cause of the peasants in the south. His battle cry, "Land and Liberty," became a powerful mantra for the revolution. These two men, despite their different backgrounds and methods, shared a common goal: to dismantle the oppressive structures of the Diaz regime and establish a society where equal rights and opportunities were available to all. The revolution was a tumultuous period, marked by battles, betrayals, and bloody conflicts. But amid all the chaos, it was also a time of profound transformation. The revolutionaries' relentless push for change forced the Mexican government to enact significant reforms. The Constitution of 1917, born out of the revolution, recognized the rights of workers and established the groundwork for land reform. And so, the revolution came to an end, but not without leaving an indelible mark on the country. It was a period that saw the birth of modern Mexico, a country that strived to uphold the ideals of equality and justice that the revolutionaries fought for. The revolution may have ended, but its impact continues to shape Mexico today. The echoes of their battle cries can still be heard in the Mexico of today, reminding us of a time when a nation stood up and demanded equality. So where does that leave Mexico today? Let's dive in. The post-revolution period saw Mexico in the throes of change, grappling with new identities and ideologies. The revolution had left a power vacuum, and in stepped the Institutional Revolutionary Party, or PRI. For 7 long decades, from 1929 to 2000, the PRI held a firm grip on Mexican politics, implementing policies that shaped Mexico's modern face. However, the PRI's reign wasn't without its dark chapters. One such was the Tlatelolco Massacre of 1968, an event that left an indelible scar on the Mexican psyche. The government's violent suppression of student protests in Mexico City's Tlatelolco Square resulted in hundreds of deaths, a tragic testament to the struggle for freedom of expression and democracy. In response to the growing dissatisfaction with the government, the Zapatista uprising emerged in 1994. Named after Emiliano Zapata, a key figure in the Mexican Revolution, the Zapatista movement championed the rights of Mexico's indigenous communities and the rural poor. Their struggle continues to this day, a reminder of the deep-seated inequalities still present in Mexican society. Into the 21st century, Mexico saw significant political developments. The year 2000 marked the end of PRI's unbroken rule, ushering in a new era of multi-party democracy. However, the road ahead remains fraught with challenges. From tackling corruption to addressing socioeconomic disparities, Mexico's journey is far from over. Yet through it all, one thing remains constant: the indomitable spirit of the Mexican people. They have navigated tumultuous waters, weathered storms of change, and emerged stronger with each trial. Their resilience is etched into the very fabric of the nation, a vibrant thread in the tapestry of Mexican history. The history of Mexico is a testament to the resilience and spirit of its people. So, what does the history of Mexico teach us? Engaging with Mexico's history is like opening the pages of a vibrant, dramatic, and deeply moving narrative. From the dawn of civilization, where ancient societies crafted the country's cultural bedrock, to the age of the Aztecs, a time of legendary warriors and architectural marvels, Mexico's past is nothing short of mesmerizing. The Spanish Conquest, a period of turmoil and transformation, gave way to the struggle for independence, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Mexican people. This spirit carried through the times of revolution and reform, and into the fierce battles of the Mexican Revolution. In modern Mexico, we see a vibrant blend of past and present, where ancient traditions coexist with contemporary innovations. The country's complex political history is a testament to its resilience and adaptability. So as we wrap up, let's remember, Mexico's history is a fascinating journey, a story of resilience, culture, and the unyielding spirit of its people.